kind of what you had hoped to accomplish where you at?
Yeah, I think our vets are doing a nice job. I really do. I think they're practicing hard. Competitiveness is there. Same thing I said after the scrimmage. I want to see some of these young guys have some dog, man. Like I want to see people step up and be like, that dude's a dog. If that dude's next to me on the field for a fourth down, the game on the line, I trust him. We don't have enough of those guys yet. And they're young, so I get it. Like, Rome wasn't built in a day. But it's still like, it's the mindset of them. I want to see somebody with the mindset of I belong, not I'm waiting my turn.
Transfer portal era makes it even more incumbent upon those guys to show their potential when they're really young.
Yeah, and there's some transfer portal guys that we brought in. Those are vets to me that have done that, that have that dog in them. It's more like our freshmen, sophomore, like our freshmen, redshirt freshmen, the young guys. Those are the guys who, we have so many returners, they can get comfortable in their role of, oh, I'm behind blank. And that's probably not going to change. But you can't get comfortable. Like you still have to, when we take some of those guys off the field, that's your squad now. You got to be able to show that you can lead the group of men, that you have that your guys will rally behind if you happen to be in the game. And we're going to have to count on some of those guys.
Speaking of dogs, how about Clayton? What kind of leadership does he bring?
I mean, his growth in the last 3 years here is incredible. The way he runs to the ball now, his size being 245 pounds as opposed to 220 something when he showed up, his work habits, like talk about a guy who's completely changed, in my opinion, the trajectory of his life. I think his life is going to be completely different. The Clayton now as opposed to the Clayton, 2.5 years ago when he showed up here. And that's what excites me, not just football, because I think football he's going to excel and he's going to have a chance at the next level. But his life, I think, is going to be drastically impacted by who he is today.
Coach, it seems like media presence is only increasing. How do you keep the guys locked in and focused?
Yeah, I mean, they're so used to it, and it's good. They're used to, the noise of that, and they're going to have that the rest of their life. That's the new day and age. So my biggest thing is we're not going to hide from it. We're not going to hide from the new normal. We're going to embrace the new normal. So I think they're used to that. But like I said, I think there's got to be something in you like that internally you just want to be your best every day. All the external motivation is great, and we create a ton of external motivation in our program, whether it's one-on-ones in front of everybody, whether it's me in the team meeting room, calling you out, whatever that is. But the internal motivation to know, were you your very best today? That's a different type of motivation. And not everybody can find that. But the more people that can find it, the better you're going to be. So the external motivation is great, but the internal motivation is where I hope some of these young guys can find throughout this journey.
What kind of development have you seen out of the O-line so far this spring?
Yeah, obviously, when we go live, we take out, we're missing 3 starters from last year when we go live. So that group is kind of newer, whereas we have a lot of depth back at defensive line. So today was the first day where, when we took out, a couple of those high rep guys on offense and defense, where the offense just kicked the ever-living crap out of the defense. Now the negative was in 6 reps, 6 series, 4 offensive touchdowns, 2 turnovers. I mean, no team wins. We don't win on either side of the ball. There doesn't win. If we turn it over 4 times, we're not winning many games. If we give up 4 out of 6 touchdowns, we're not winning many games. So too many explosive plays on both sides of the ball in a negative light.
What about how Sean Na'a's progressing and then Jamedo's learning the system?
Yeah, Jamedo's obviously learning the system, big, long, physical. He's picking it up. It's a process. He's come from more of pass set, more line of scrimmage type teams, which is great. They're very successful systems. And we're just a little bit different with how we do that. So he's adjusting to that. And then Sean, I think, is returning to the Sean that, we saw his true freshman year. I think he's returning to that stage. Obviously last year was injured, banged up, so he never really got back. I think he's definitely trending in the right direction.
And then with development, when you talk about like the guys that came in last year for spring ball that graduated early, how have you seen on both like guys on offense, defense that did it, but just their growth with this install this spring?
Yeah, I mean, we throw a lot at them. We're not going to slow down for a true freshman that shows up. So they're definitely going to be playing probably slower than they actually are. And we're all aware of that if you're thinking, you're not playing fast. So they're thinking, so they're not playing as fast as they could. But you saw Corey have a big play today on a slot post. I mean, you've seen a few guys. I mean, Makai is a guy who continues to show up for me as a guy who could help us this year. And not many times do true freshmen help you on, on football teams that come off good years, lots of returners. So I'm not going to call this football team a good football team because we haven't played anybody. So we just have a lot of returners off a team that had success. But it's very hard to play on teams like that. And I think he's got a chance.
Would you say you're using any new tactics or new mottos to keep these guys locked in and ready to go? Especially
No, I mean, at this point, people have moved on. Like, it's not even a thought anymore, in my opinion. So we're so beyond that. It's about this football team. Everybody's focused on the right now. Everybody's focused on getting better. And like I told our seniors or everybody in the team meeting today, it's your responsibility as a senior, as a junior, as an upperclassman to set the standard for these young guys. You do not want to come back here in 6 years. Come back with all your teammates for 10 years and then celebrate last year's success and go watch a football team that sucks. Go watch a football team that doesn't play hard. Go watch a football team that doesn't compete. Go watch a football team that isn't physical. And that's everybody's responsibility. It's everybody's responsibility that if you want not just the present to be good, but also the future to be good, it's those upperclassmen's responsibility to keep that standard and not allow it to drop. And if we continue to do that, we'll maximize this coming year and we'll maximize the year's future. And it could be fun.
Through 7 practices, which position group has impressed you the most with the level of competition?
Defensive line. Our D-line is super, super competitive right now. I think Clayton and Prince and Watt and CJ, obviously, a lot of these guys are playing at the best level they've played at since they've been here. That's why we take them out for the live periods, is we already know what they can do. And I think we know they're going to be naturally better this year because of the strength and the work ethic and the mindset that they've had.
Kind of progress with just the relationship with Ben at center and the new receivers and Kamari, etc.
Yeah, I mean, if you look back a week ago from now, I came over here and I said we had some identity issues, which, it was just some identity growth that we needed to have. So we had some adversity and we came out and we bounced back, and we really put the foot on the gas this practice. I saw something that I haven't seen in a while where, we're carrying the pile with the running back. Guys are pushing them, so you love to see that dog and fight out of people. So we're kind of finding who we are now. And, I was really proud of the guys on, how we bounced back, Ben at center and the receivers just constantly taking, learning advice and growth. And, it's coming together now.
With Tyson missing the last few practices, how do you think that that's allowed other guys to try and step up during team periods and scrimmage?
Yeah, it's great for me to be able to play with a bunch of new guys, and have a guy that I'm super comfortable throwing to off the field now, and now you got to find, who else you got that connection with. Super good for me and the receivers to see, and, timing just got to be all the much better, and people just got to be where I need them to be, and I got to get them the ball when, the play opens up.
Sam, it seems like media presence is only growing for you guys. How do you keep you and your offense locked in?
How do I get the offense to stay locked in? If that was a problem, I don't know if we'd have the dreams and aspirations that we do, but no, our guys, they always stay locked in, and, I never let the media, affect me, and it's never been a problem for our guys, and I don't think it will at any point, so, I'm not too worried about all that.
Do you ever just look at how good the defense is and be like, wow, our defense is pretty good with the ones?
Yeah, it's funny you said. I just told Keyshawn that. I said, man, y'all are probably the best defense we'll see, They're just so cohesive, and the way they communicate and have played with each other for a while, it's really special to play against and see. They bring a lot of energy, and it was really challenging in the first 2 weeks when we were figuring out, as an offense what we got. Now we're kind of getting our feet under ourselves, and, we had a really good day offensively today and Saturday as well. So, playing against those guys every single day and getting the opportunity to, feel how X feels my eyes, and Keyshawn and all those guys on the DNs, feel how they, play the pass pros and, coming up field jetting on certain pass pros and, just making it really hard on me and the whole team. So playing against that defense has been exceptional.
Sam, what are you hoping to do or see before the end of the 8 more practices?
Nothing specific, just constant growth, constantly getting with our guys, and I want timing to be really good between receivers and them knowing the different looks, what I want to see, and then just from a protection standpoint, I always want to be 100% with that, and if I'm not, then know where my hearts are, and just play a complete game. I want to play a smooth, complete game, not put the ball in danger, and just have a really complete offense.
What do you think Jaron Hamilton could bring to the offense on the team?
Yeah, he's got a lot of juice, a guy that can really go. I try to challenge him on a lot of things and talk to him after certain reps, so he's making a bunch of plays and he's showing out. So, I've been proud of him so far.
What have you made of the depth in the running back room so far?
Oh, it's awesome. You know, we got like 4 or 5 guys that can really go. A couple of youngsters in there, and, you know, we got some speed, we got some strength, we got a mix. So, you know, just working with them every single day and seeing what they got.